Alright, welcome to a new Let's Play, made by Interplay and is a Parallax software game, and the name will come out shortly at its ascent. That didn't take long for the title to come up. Anyways, we're going to select our pilot for this LP, Rye LP, and not Ryson, because that's my off-screen, whatever the name. And yes, this is Descent. It is a... how do I explain this? 3D... first-person space flight game? Hell if I know. But it's awesome nonetheless. Let's see. Currently my high score is that. Don't I have the most awesome quote in the world? Yes. I've only made level 3 recently. Because, yeah. Anyways, we're gonna start a new game. We're gonna start on level 1 since I did attempt a recording of this earlier, but I didn't like it. So I'm trying it again. In fact, this is like take 4 maybe. But in the last 3 takes I never got anywhere, so blah. Anyways, we're gonna do this on the hardest difficulty, possibly relative of my sanity level. But I'm probably just overextending things, whatever the heck. Anyways, we are being briefed. Now, I will inform you that this is gonna take a while, because I'm gonna read this entire thing. So I'm gonna see if I can put an annotation in to tell you what you can skip to if you don't want to hear me do this. Anyways, onto this. And apparently our defense robots did not function to specifications. Our Pluto mining stations are now in unknown hands. Forceless bureaucrats. They replace us all with robots given half the chance. Briefings are awful. Air is too sterile for human lungs. Endless electric blue schematics sting the eyes. And a suit from a post-Turan whose droning voice would make Armageddon sound boring. They needed me. They had the equipment I needed. Why did this fool keep babbling? We have an Israeli-made Pyro ZX specifically modified for this mission. Fine, let me go. Some fighter Zocs worse if their hardware. But I'm not the religious type. The idiot giving me the lecture was practically drooling. Hardware was pretty impressive though. AV-42 Adventure concussion missiles, pair of AG-435 industrial argon cyanide lasers, illegally modified, just the way those hardware junkies like them. Do I really need to know the serial numbers? You'll have multiple objectives on this mission. You mean contradictory objectives, don't you? Destroy all infected mines, keep the invaded force from spreading further, but be sure to rescue any survivors, destroy as many robots as possible, and each one of these objectives is the most important. Why do they have to design this mission by committee? This can only be done by the material defender in SITU. Translation from the bureaucracy. Their host, and I'm the only one who can cut their losses. That's the trouble with working for the largest bureaucracy in human history. Hail the glorious post-Turan Minerals Corporation. Huzzah! Our main defense robotics have smuggled replacement parts and weapons into the mine. At present, the invader has not been alerted. We are confident that you will have the advantage of a surprise attack, at least until you enter the mines. At that point, you should expect a heavy counteroffensive. I suppose I should be thankful for small mercies. Somehow I had the feeling I would have no advantage at all. The strategic weak spot of the mines is their fusion reactors. Their deep in each mine is completely automated. Normally, we'd be able to blow them up from orbit, but all uplinks to our stations have been severed at the source. Knocking out the reactors will cause a system-wide meltdown within a matter of seconds, and when I say system-wide, I mean complete vaporization. Getting out before the mine blows will be the foremost on your mind, and foremost on the minds of any poor slobs I haven't rescued yet. The information we have on the enemy is rather sketchy. BTMC intelligence sir comes through again. Big surprise there. The infected mines now appear to be manufacturing new robots for its needs. Most are based on designs of common mining mechs, but expect to see completely new ones as well. Whatever has invaded the mines appears to adapt rapidly. While none of the internal monitor systems are responding, defense satellites have spotted a few modified mechs near the surface. Here's the latest information from the PTMC intelligence. And we get to learn of the Class 1 drone. It is modified. Little threat alone. Haha. Not insane difficulty. Yeah. More on that later. Anyways, another scout robot. And this thing tries to claw you to death. Recon cameras have witnessed this robot threatening anything in sight, including hostages. Sucks to be them. Anyways, PTMC miner robot. Very little information on it. It's just what it is. This thing has 2 missile launchers. Threat high. And it's like a spider, but missing legs. So yeah, no further info on that. And that is the exit. Basically, it only opens up when the reactor blows up. And you have to head for that. Safely buying a corpse sip waste bars is starting to sound really good right now. Most of our information is sketchy at this point. We'll continue to analyze the data you acquire and keep you updated as we can. Be aware that we have witnessed advanced intelligences in many of these mechs. It's safe to assume that they will continue to develop new weaponry and behaviors as we progress. But of course, you'll see the real evidence soon enough. And I suppose if they were any more encouraging, they'd be suiting me right now. We're aware from your record in putting down the humans first, mining strike, you can get difficult jobs done. First he tries to scare me, then he flatters me. Least I could do is bring someone else in to play good cop. Who do you think I am? Just because I kill people doesn't mean I'm stupid. Typical PTMC staff. I imagine his face would look much... I imagine what his face would look like with my fist buried in it. Much better. If you pull this off, PTMC will pay you triple your usual compensation. Now I'm intrigued. PTMC only throws money around when they're sincerely scared. You also heard high recognition indeed, but recognition doesn't prove the situation. You will peruse the inner planets and swing outwards, heading for Pluto. You will be able to rearm at the orbital PTMC processing stations. Nothing but reinforcements. This is not good. I wonder who was sent before they got around to drawing my name out of the PTMC database. Someone who wasn't up to the task. I doubt you're aware of this, but military divisions perform advanced weaponry development in several of our mines. The Power CX has been modified to make use of any new technology you find. It's apparent you'll need everything you can to eliminate this threat. Threat to your salary, you mean? The only reason PTMC hires people like me is to ensure its undaunted financial future. And we feel you should know that the intelligence reports indicate that the convergence point of the robot invasion force is Earth. My stomach turned again. You'd think they'll get to the important part at the start of the briefing. Of course, the PTMC, their minds are the important part. I keep forgetting that. That's all, Material Defender. Prepare for descent.